Firstly, as I said just now, guys, just wow. We're obviously expecting quite a turnout. It's a pretty important event tonight for obviously Zupps, Gravatt and Holden with the release of the last Commodore. But before we start, obviously I'd like to thank my entire staff for getting tonight prepared, and a special mention to our marketing manager, Alyssa, who actually put the whole thing together. Unfortunately for us, Alyssa by the end of the month is making her way up to the big corporate world, and we'll have a replacement who will have to have some big shoes to fill. So in the meantime, Alyssa, she's over here. So on behalf of the team, thank you. Just quickly as well, there is a competition that we are holding currently. It's a tag and win. It'll be happening on Facebook, so obviously take some photos of the great cars that we have on show. Tag yourself on Facebook, and I believe there's $250 worth of apparel that's up for grabs. So as I mentioned before, what an exciting time for Holden in the Australian automotive industry. I'm truly honoured to be part of obviously Holden history today. Well, we see the release of the last VF Commodore, Series 2. So let me take you on a journey back to 1978, where Australia's population was just 14.3 million, and when the average weekly wage was around about $218. Olivia Newton-John had a #1 hit, You're the One That I Want, at #1. And while the world introduced us to such things as Dunlop Volleys, the Atari, and Paul Hogan and Crocodile Dundee, it was 37 years ago today that Holden introduced Australia to the first generation of Commodores, the VB.
Sorry.
So advanced it will challenge all your ideas about Australian cars. A new kind of car for Australia. 3 models, priced from a recommended $6,513 plus on-road costs at your home dealer.
Well done, Holden, with that one. That was, yeah, it was up there. So the car came with 6 cylinders and with only 66 kilowatts of power. Less than what we have today in our Holden Barina. The radiant air conditioner was optional, but it came standard with its vinyl seats, and so did the front disc brakes and the rear drums. With no airbags, no ABS, no stability control, no electric windows, and no cup holders, that bad boy you could have a $6.5 grand drive away from Holden. The VB was praised for its value and sophistication, and it even secured the title of Wheels Car of the Year for 1978. Since then, Holden's gone on to build more than 3.1 million Commodores for Australia. Queensland got a taste of the Commodore fever back in 1980, where it built its first Commodore, the VC. The most significant change in the VC was just simply an engine upgrade. In that same year, driving legend Peter Brock finished first at Bathurst 1000, making it Commodore's first victory, and he went on to win a hat-trick from 1982 to 1984. It was 1982 when the VH arrived, along with the SS Commodore, and HDT Special Vehicles offered 3 optional upgrades, a choice of either a 4.2 litre or a 5 litre. The Commodore's first major change since the VB was the VK, which I believe Lee Holdsworth, that was your first car, which I don't even know where he is right now. That's awkward, but it was mine. Yeah, that was awkward. VK was released and it stimulated 135,000 sales in just two years. The VK also introduced a nameplate, the Galley. In 1985, a slightly modified VK SS Group A was released by HDT in Formula Blue, and it was nicknamed the Blue Meanie, with only 502 ever built. And I believe one of them is here tonight. So it's 1987, but now I'm taking you back to Zupps, Holden, Mount Gravatt, where this actually happened.
Any old iron, any old iron, any old iron. Trade it in, any old thing, you get more cash when you bash it all in. Up bars, any old cars, doesn't matter what's up. You can trade in anything and get cash back when John's up, big John's up. Any old iron, any old iron, any old iron. Look at these wheels, talk about deals, cash in your hand.
How good it feels.
You or you just can't lose, doesn't matter what's up. You can trade up for just a few bucks a day with John's up, big John's up. Any old iron, any old iron, any old iron.
It's a smash!
In your dash, big John's handing out the cash. Deposit slow, so off you go. It doesn't matter what's up. Trade in anything to get cash back with John's up, big John's up. Trade your banana. Don't sign anything till you see John's up, big John's up. Oi!
One thing's for sure, kind of glad there was a limited number of those actually ever made, which was good. So we're heading now towards the last of the series, which is the VL, which sold in record numbers. It was around that time that Holden was planning to discontinue the V8 engine, but instead, Holden developed the very first unleaded V8. HSV was established in 1987 and was based in Clayton, Victoria. The joint venture was between Holden and Tom Walkinshaw Racing, which replaced Peter Brock's HDT Special Vehicles. The first car that was badged and sold as a HSV was the SV88 with 136 kilowatts, 16-inch alloys, and it even offered its buyers an optional factory-fitted phone and fax, which I'm not sure if we've got that in the one that we've got here tonight. However, the first car developed by HSV was in fact the Holden VL SS Group A SV in 1988, which was badged and sold as Holden, better known as the Walkinshaw. It retailed for roughly $47,000, but today it sells for more than $80,000 privately. It actually has less kilowatts than what we have in our Holden Astra today. So before internet, and when cameras still used film, it was all about the big hair, the hypercolour t-shirts, and some bad music, with #1 hit being Robert Palmer's Simply Irresistible. And around that time, the world turned to Brisbane for World Expo 88, and Holden rolled out the VN Commodore, the first series of the second generation. Wheels magazine awarded the VN Commodore as a car of the year in 1988, the second Commodore to receive this award. The range expanded in 1990 to include the utility with a Series 2 update in September '89, featuring a revised V6 engine known as the EV6. With the update came the power increase to 127 kilowatts from the original 125. HSV developed a number of models based on the VN, including the SS Group A SV, which featured a 5-litre V8, and the Maloo was finally released. The VP Commodore came into the scene with the SS and Calais, receiving independent rear suspension as standard, and ABS was later offered as an option throughout our Series 2. HSV began introducing IRS to its vehicles and released some new models, the HSV Senator and its high-performance GDS with 200 kilowatts. VR gave us the smoother body, the wheel arches, and the twin kidney grille. ABS, IRS, driver's airbag and cruise control was also available for the first time in an Australian-built car, with optional driver's side airbags. Wheels magazine again awarded Commodore with Wheels Car of the Year in 1993. HSV also benefited from the slick-looking VR, with upgrades to its 5-litre V8 and the GTS now receiving a 5.7-litre. Sales continued strong throughout the VS series, which only received a redesigned Holden logo, different wheel trims, but also introduced a supercharged V6 engine in its Series 2. And easily recognised was HSV's limited GDSR, which we've been hearing GDSR a lot of late. With a 5.7-litre V8 only available in bright yellow with carbon fibre inserts with a rear large wing. It retailed for $75,000. So now we move into the 90s, the third generation. With Hey Hey Saturday in living rooms across Australia, we all waited for the world to end for the first minutes of 2000 with a Y2K bug. Chappelle Corby was also sentenced for illegally importing the wrong boogie board. And why can't we forget the #1 hit back then of Barbie Girl by Aqua. But in 1997, Holden's VT Commodore came to life.
Only once in a decade is a car created that's this good. Designed in Australia, all new from the ground up to give you the edge. The edge in style, in comfort, and on the open road. With handling and control like never before. The radically new Holden Commodore gives you the driving edge.
You're getting better, Holden. The VT got ARS standard, along with traction control, and the old 5 litre was now replaced with a 5.7 litre V8. Holden began to export into parts of Asia, South Africa, Brazil, and in the Middle East. For the fourth time in Commodore history, the VT is awarded Wheels Car of the Year for 1997. In 1 year, 94,500 Commodores were sold, representing 12% of the Australian market share, which cemented VT as the best-selling Commodore of its time. And some 20 years had passed before the Monaro would reappear in Holden showrooms, following the overwhelming response from the public and the media to the Holden Coupe concept displayed at the 1998 International Motor Show in Sydney.
There's a basic law of nature which says the mightiest